What is up, guys? PavloG here. First of all, I want to formally apologize for disappearing off the face of the earth. I know the bad business community has been tossing and turning at night, staring at the ceiling wondering, where's PavloG? Is the performance arena demon gone forever? Alright, look. Nobody noticed. My cat didn't even notice, but we are back, and today we're looking at the ultimate Dragunov setup. If you've been looking for the best Dragunov build or attachment breakdown for said build, this video will have everything you need and a full explanation of all attachments. Alright, let's get into a breakdown of the Dragunov class that we have here. Alright, so we have Tactical Laser, Tactical Silencer, Marksman Barrel, Minimal Stock, and Lightweight. And I'll give you a reason that I run these particular attachments as opposed to running either 20 mag or running a different barrel. So we'll go attachment by attachment. Alright, let's start off with the Tactical Silencer. Technically supposed to be a suppressor, but we'll ignore that. Alright, so if we look here, we have suppression and handling. Suppression is not the reason we're using this. We're not trying to be sneaky beaky. There's glint. People are going to see you across the map. This is not why we're using this attachment. We're using it for the handling. Handling is increased. And if you look at our stats here, we don't have much handling to start with. It makes you very clunky, makes the gun harder to pull out or swap between other weapons. So we want to have as much handling as possible because snipers are not known for being very easy to handle. So it says on the cons it comes to the detriment of damage range, but lucky for us, our gun does not have to worry about that. We completely negate the con of this, so we get all the benefits with none of the disadvantages. Alright, let's make our way over to the lasers. We have two lasers that we can actually use, but currently I have the tactical laser equipped. The reason I have tactical laser is hipfire accuracy, it's always a benefit, and ADS speed. ADS speed is why I'm using this set attachment. I like to snipe further out, so having that ADS speed is crucial. But if you want to play a bit closer or you're playing on a smaller map, you cannot go wrong with an ambi laser and hit a bit more consistent no scopes. Alright, next we're moving on to the barrels. I've used both of these barrels, I'd say at least 10 to 15,000 kills on each barrel, easily. And I would give it to the Marksman Barrel. There are a lot of guns in the game that will give you a crazy amount of flinch, especially P90. I know the feeling all too well of being sprayed across the map by a level 0 P90 and he kicks your barrel up half the screen and you cannot get a clear shot. So don't get me wrong, I like having the ADS speed that the short barrel does provide, but the flinch resistance, it's really bad. So that's why I've opted in to use Marksman Barrel in succession with Tac Laser. But let's say if I wasn't too worried about flinch, you're playing a bit more close, you can swap for short barrel, and then you can do ambi laser. Alright, now on to stock. We're going to be using minimal stock. Tactical stock, I feel like it's a waste of a slot. It really doesn't give you much benefit over what the mini stock provides, especially for this type of setup we're going for. So we have ADS speed and mobility. Mobility helps out a lot. ADS speed helps out a lot. We have Tac Laser to help us, and like I said, we have Marksman Barrel, so our ADS speed is a little lower, so we kind of have to have our other attachments to compensate for the slower scope in time. Like I said, there's a bit of flinch resistance, but not as much as the other barrel. And like I said, going back to the tactical stock, ADS speed, flinch resistance, you add more recoil. This gun does kind of have a fair amount of recoil. I'm not going to say it's a crazy amount, but if you're trying to change shots or you're trying to lead someone 150 meters out, having that more recoil can make tracking a little harder. So I more or less want to be moving around. If I do need to get a little closer to a target, I have the mobility. Like you look here, we have 102 mobility. That's going to give us the ability to super jump very consistently, keep up with ARs. Alright, getting to my favorite attachment. Some people would say is controversial, but I personally love this attachment. Lightweight. This bumps you up from, let's say we do 98, so we're just under the threshold of super jumping, to when we equip lightweight, Now we're past 100, so now we can super jump very consistently. We can run around. We have the mobility like an SMG, despite us having a sniper that can snipe someone 150 meters, 200 meters out. Alright, there are some other perks that we can equip. Like I said, I personally prefer lightweight for my playstyle, but we can tweak it accordingly if you have shortcomings in your gameplay that you want to address. Sleight hand, useless. Let's not use this. It's a waste of a slot. We have 10 bullets in the mag, and it takes 2 seconds to reload. You can duck under cover for 2 seconds and reload. It's not that big of a deal. It's not like an AR where if you whiff half your mag, you gotta reload. You have 10 shots in the chamber. Like, if you're missing 8 shots, we need to reconsider your aim. So let's just not use sleight of hand. Quick draw, ADS, like I said, useless. We have tac laser, we have mini stock, we have attachments that can help with your ADS speed. Not really a choice. XP boost, no comment. Sharpshooter, we're not camping. Let's not use this, okay? Swap speed. I would say this is one of the more useful ones. Let's say if you have you miss a shot and someone's really close or someone's flanking you, we can use tactical holster to help the handling. If we equipped, we're gonna jump up to 84. That'll give us really snappy handling to pull out our secondary, but me personally, I'm not a fan. We'll just stick to lightweight and we'll go from there. Overall, this is the final PavloG Dragunov build. I've tried many iterations of a bunch of attachments, different styles, more ammo capacity, and I feel like this is the most solid Dragunov setup you can have to consistently grind and get more headshots.